everybody, and welcome to Thread. My name is Joel Nagel. If you don't know me, I'm the Program Director and Content Creator for Thread, and I want to take you through this series, God's People Divided. You can see here from the video that we're selecting this first week so that it'll show up on everybody's app, and everyone in your ministry can stay on the same page. We get into the series, and you can check out the trailer video. Why is she so sad? You see the video or read through 2 Kings, you'll know. As always, there are leadership lessons for every week, and there's a leadership assessment that you can do before every series. And this is just something you can do on your own, or you can talk through with your core group or leadership group. It's a great way to reset and to consider your goals for the new series. The lessons are really good. It's still good to let the text guide your heart and your ministry each week, and to immerse yourself in the content before you bring it to your group. The planner, the welcome, reading, communion all come from the prophets. The welcome comes from Isaiah. The communion messages all come from Isaiah 52 and 53, that great messianic prophecy. And there's a closing blessing with this message that you can kind of even put your hand up if you want and have someone read a blessing at the end of your service. Let's go through the sermons. The first one is about the spirit of Elijah and the spirit of Jezebel. I love this because this idea of the spirit or the way of Elijah, the way of Jezebel, isn't just something that we find in 1st and 2nd Kings, but we see it in other places in the Bible. Jesus mentions it. And then even all the way into Revelation, we see not just the spirit of Elijah living on, but the spirit of Jezebel. And where do we find it? In the church. This next sermon is about Amos. And I don't know if you've ever preached a sermon on Amos, but we want to make Amos famous. At the end of it, there's a lot about social justice, which is a big deal in our world, as it should be. But it's something that I think is tricky for churches to approach. And at the end of this sermon starter, I present a way that you can modify for your group of approaching social justice in a biblical way that I think can be helpful. The third message is about King Josiah as we look at Judah's kings, the great reformer Josiah, how he heard the word, how he responded. And then when we hear the word and respond, what do we get to do? We get to celebrate. And they celebrated the Passover. Should be a great message and a great week to focus on. The next three sermons actually all focus on Jeremiah. This one's really cool. It talks about deeds, kind of a play on words, because Jeremiah had radical deeds, but he also had to sign a deed of land, in which if your city is under siege and you as a prophet are guaranteeing that you're going to be taken to Babylon, buying land is not a good idea unless you're really faithful. It's a great message. Judah's exile, we're going to look at Jeremiah 29:11. One of the most misinterpreted scriptures in the Bible, but we're going to look at it in a way where it kind of teaches the church how to interpret scriptures properly, and then how can we apply Jeremiah 29:11 in a way that actually fits with biblical exegesis. And then the last message in this series is from Lamentations, and it's about a Christian approach to complaining. Psychologists have actually discovered that we kind of need to complain. And so there's a Christian way to do that, and Lamentations sets a great framework for us. Looking at the kids' messages, as we say, we want to change the ride home from church. We want the kids' messages to be tied in with the adult messages, and so they have their own version. This first one involves Mentos and diet soda, clear diet soda to reduce messes. If you've ever seen what happens, it's pretty awesome. It's a lot like what happened with Elijah on Mount Carmel, except instead of fire, it's diet seltzer. The graphics package, as usual, is included. You've got your trailer video, the badge, you've got episode slides, because there's a lot of really helpful graphs in these episodes to help orient people with this time of the divided kingdom. And then lastly, I just want to point out there is a full Thread Kids Ministry curriculum. That's that primer right there that you can check out. Great to do a training. It's a new year if you're following along with us with the podcast, and always good to train the teachers. But hope you enjoy this series, God's Kingdom Divided.